All right, well, to hear Hillary Clinton, a lot of liberals tell it, a lot of business guys don't know jack about helping their workers. Well, they ought to talk then to Jack Dorsey, the head of Twitter, who's giving a third of his stock away, all his shares, it's a lot of money, to his workers. Have at it, they deserve it. So he's doing that. So maybe the free market, Craig Smith says, is the solution to this sort of stuff, and not politicians or the government. Craig, what do you make of this?
Absolutely. Jack Dorsey has done a brilliant thing. He's brilliant in technology. He's brilliant in business. And he, quite frankly, is following a model that we've had at our firm for over 20 years, Neil. We do a quarterly bonus program on our profits quarter by quarter. And at the end of the year, we also provide a profit-sharing plan. We didn't need the government incentive to do it. We didn't need anybody to force us into it. And it works great. And, Neil, I have the highest retention, I would suggest, of any company in our industry. We just don't have
that would not surprise me, and actually that I know as a fact. But the wrap against that argument is that guys like you, guys like Jack Dorsey, are rare, that most companies don't think that way and address this enormous gap between the rich and the poor, which I hasten to add has widened dramatically under this president. Having said that, that the government has to step in and forcibly make what you're doing the case. What do you say?
Well, but let me give you a perfect real-world example, Neil. I just came from a doctor's appointment, and the girl told me her husband works for a public utility. Ever since Obamacare has been forced on them, they have to pay more than they ever have for the health insurance. That's government forcing something. When you have the government forced employers to do what Jack and I are doing, then you're going to have problems. Now, I happen to believe that corporate America is going to follow this lead of Jack Dorsey, because I know there are a lot of small mid-cap companies that do something very similar in the form of a profit-sharing program, a defined benefits program.
What do you do, Craig, if you're not making money? Obviously, there are no profits to share, right? So,
indeed, that's the case, but that's why in our company we do a quarterly thing, Neil, so that way everybody knows they have a job. They're never going to be laid off. But if we make money, they're going to make more money. If we don't make money, then everybody's going to at least make their salary. But I think this is a trend, Neil, and I don't think the government has to implement it. I think businesses will do it to retain good people.
And the government is hardly one to lecture anyone on financial accountability, by the way. But, Craig, thank you very much.
Good seeing you, Neil.
All right. In the meanwhile, we're keeping an eye.